This is no longer just a football team. This is the NFL's next nightmare. The Rams have built a terrifying superweapon with Myles, Garrett, Aaron Donald, and an all-star roster. But can this unstoppable force survive the brutal pressure waiting in 2026?
Let's not run into adversity, knowing that around the corner there'll be some. That's every NFL team's going to deal with it. But right now, on the flip card, it's a nice flip card. Now, you know what flip card means? It's a nice flip card because what's been done in the past, we're in the present, and we got to go do it. And it starts with yesterday, and here we are.
I mean, walk us through that moment when you realized that Myles Garrett was going to end up in Los Angeles. I mean, just it caught all of us by surprise. It was like a lightning bolt. What was it like inside the building for you guys?
It was interesting. It wasn't necessarily a lightning bolt, mainly because we had been working on that trade for a little over a month, and knowing that it was going to, once we knew it was going to be post June 1 or that whole June 1 for their cap purposes and things like that, it was kind of just drug out. It was like all of a sudden Christmas Eve lasted a month. It was an element of surrealness when this thing is probably going to happen, but he's still a Brown. And you gotta wait. So but now getting him on the field, obviously he got there to OTAs late and did a little bit in individual, but getting him on the field and now seeing him, we're not in pads yet too, but now it's okay. It's real. Yeah, it's things like that. Here's what I do know about: he's so special in terms of arm talent that when he's 60 years old and he's doing the Turkey Day Thanksgiving game with his old high school buddies, he is still going to be able to throw a football with a high velocity and accuracy. Now his buddies probably won't be able to catch it.
He's going to kill his 60-year-old high school friends.
He's just one of those. I don't think that's ever going to go away. And those guys, right, there's an element of the gift they were blessed with, and then you take into their will, their drive, their work ethic, all of those things it takes to get to elite. But you got to. I think you got to be gifted. You know, mom, dad, God's got to. You know what? Sure. Sprinkle a little sugar on something to go. You know what? You're going to be just a little different than everyone else in the neighborhood.
What has it been like working with Sean McVay over these years too? Because we watch from the outside and we see how this team has innovated in terms of what they do offensively. Everybody talks about the tight ends and that sort of thing. But you also have the job of kind of building that thing with him. What has that partnership been like for you?
You know, it's going to. When it's all said and done and we're telling a story, it'll be however many years it's going to be. It'll be one of the more fulfilling chapters, adventures, journeys of my lifetime. Because at the end of the day, he similar to Matthew, he's exceptional. He can change the math right when he's on and he's in flow, and we're ahead of the curve. There's an element like when you play us, it's like playing 12. Now there's times, right, where your competitors are going to try to catch you, and now 12 goes to 11 and sometimes even 10, and that's the ebbs and flows. But he can change the math, and he also can change the math just as a human being, the way he connects with people, the way he communicates, the way he works with you. Very, very, I would call it humility, partnership, but the way he just connects and energizes a team. Where
is Aaron Donald coming back?
I was getting there, Trev. I keep looking. I mean,
this is the first time Aaron's, I call it, probably had the itch to come back, try to do something meaningful, which has been cool to see. Like when you can speak to this, when you retire from the NFL, that's probably a cliff that's like the next chapter is a little. It's foggy. Yeah. It's like, wait a minute, is the next portion of my life going to be as so? But interesting with Aaron, he's really enjoyed these years off and hasn't necessarily missed the game. He says he missed every now and then, but not enough to say I want to come back. This is the first time that, you know what, there's a real itch there.
Just for the science of it, Les.
I'm tippy-toeing around.
No, I got you. But just from a football perspective, I would love to see what would happen if you put both of them dudes out there at the same time.
Yeah, it's almost like how many times in a lifetime in like this universe thing where, okay, wait a minute, Myles Garrett, now Aaron Donald wants to come back. He happens to still be young enough to do it. Like that doesn't happen often. So I think I would show up to the game and it wouldn't be like you were the GM. It'd be like, wow, this is This is kind of something I'm watching on Netflix.
Yeah.
It can't be real.
They're the only division fully backed. The others will be joining tomorrow. The NFC West sits with the Los Angeles Rams with the assumed addition of Aaron Donald to the Myles, Garrett, McDuffie, Watson, and reloaded LA Rams defense. Odds-on favorite.
But AJ talking about the Seahawks, Coop coming on talking about the Seahawks, and Mike Mack. I'm still going to Rams because of all those things. Not only that, on the offensive side of the ball, you still got Puka, who now is going to be contract year Puka, maybe brand new, fresh-minded Puka. And Davante Adams. A lot of people aren't talking about him, but he has to be very, very, very hungry for a championship. He's been close numerous times in his career, so him being there as well. And then you still have studs. I'm with Todd, too. This is without Aaron Donald, because you still have a bunch of studs across that defensive line where you win and lose football games. Got to figure some things out, I would say, on that second level. But, yeah, I'm all in on the Los Angeles Rams winning the NFC West.
To your point about Davante Adams, most red zone touchdowns in 2025. Stafford to Davante, 12. Now, those touchdowns could have came from a half a yard. Could have been a yard. Who cares? Getting into paint's getting into paint. Now they continue to add to that. AJ, it does feel like the Los Angeles Rams are an all-star team, and that's why it's hard not to just go ahead and pick them. There's currently two guys in the Thunderdome, Matt Teichman and D. Butt on Los Angeles Rams to take the NFC West.
The NFL may have just created its next unstoppable force. Because the Los Angeles Rams are no longer simply trying to compete. They are building something dangerous. A team designed to overwhelm opponents with experience, star power, and championship ambition. Myles Garrett, Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, Davante Adams, and now the possibility of Aaron Donald returning. This is not just another roster. This is a warning to the entire league. But here is where the story becomes interesting. Super teams do not fail because they lack talent. They fail because the pressure becomes impossible. Every opponent wants to knock them down. Every mistake becomes a disaster. Every weakness becomes exposed. And in 2026, the Rams will not be chasing respect. They will be defending their reputation. Because the NFL is waiting to see if this superweapon can survive the storm. But before the Rams became the team everyone fears, one move changed the entire conversation around the league. When Myles Garrett arrived in Los Angeles, the NFL world was stunned. A player who had spent years terrorizing quarterbacks in Cleveland suddenly became the centerpiece of the Rams' defense. To fans, it looked like a surprise. But inside the Rams organization, this was a plan. Los Angeles had been preparing for this possibility for more than a month. The biggest obstacle was timing. The Rams needed the post-June 1 timeline to make the salary cap situation work. The waiting period felt endless, almost like Christmas Eve lasting an entire month. Everyone knew something huge could happen, but nobody could celebrate until the deal became official. Now, after seeing Garrett at OTAs, even with his limited participation in individual drills, the reality is clear. The Rams added one of football's most terrifying defensive weapons. And the scary part? He might only be the beginning. Because Los Angeles is not just collecting stars. They are building around the people who know how to turn talent into championships. Talent creates possibilities. But leadership creates championships. That is why Sean McVay remains the biggest advantage inside the Rams organization. When McVay is operating at his best, opponents are not just facing a football team. It feels like they are facing an extra player on the field. His preparation, his communication, his ability to connect with players. That is what separates him. The NFL always adjusts. Defenses eventually catch up. The advantage becomes smaller. But McVay's greatest weapon has never been only strategy. It is culture. It is trust. It is convincing elite players that they can accomplish something bigger than themselves. And that belief could become extremely important because the Rams are chasing something almost impossible. Another championship. And now, the biggest question in Los Angeles could completely change the balance of power in the NFL. Could Aaron Donald really return? For years, that question seemed impossible. Donald retired after building one of the greatest defensive careers in NFL history. But now, something feels different. Retirement changes everything for football players. They spend their entire lives chasing the game. Then suddenly, the competition disappears. The routine disappears. The pressure disappears. Aaron Donald enjoyed life away from football. But for the first time since walking away, there is a real feeling that he may want another run. And imagine the nightmare scenario for opposing quarterbacks. Aaron Donald, Myles Garrett, on the same defensive line. A future Hall of Famer returning alongside one of the most dominant defenders of this generation. That would not feel normal. That would feel like football history happening in real time. But the Rams' championship dream is not built only on defense. Their offense might be the final piece that makes this team unstoppable. The most dangerous part about the Rams? They are not only built to stop teams. They are built to outscore them. Puka Nacua enters a contract year with another reason to dominate. More motivation. More pressure. More opportunity. Then there is Davante Adams, a superstar receiver who has spent years chasing the one thing missing from his career: a Super Bowl ring. And the connection with Matthew Stafford already showed why Los Angeles believes this partnership can be special. In 2025, Stafford and Adams produced 12 red zone touchdowns, the most by any quarterback-receiver combination. Because when games reach the final moments, when defenses tighten, when championships are decided inside the 20-yard line, that is where elite players make the difference. The Rams have stars. They have experience. They have a coach who knows how to win. Now comes the ultimate test. Can this collection of elite talent survive the pressure? Because in 2026, the Los Angeles Rams are not hunting the NFL. The NFL is hunting them.
Yo, mic check 1 to 2, -1, -2. Game over for this video, folks. Smash that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to stay in the huddle for more. This is NFL Madness, bringing the heat and signing out.